Yo, over this nigga's career, he's been a ghost, a phantom, a gangster, a gentleman, a wise guy. Nigga, make up your fucking mind. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad of Granddad Wooly, and you are here again for another edition of CD Case Studies. Today, we're going into the book and talking about one of my favorite MCs out of New York of all time. He's 1/3 of one of my favorite hip-hop groups of all time, and this nigga's just been around since the mid-90s. He be dropping fire consistently and still fucking is. We are talking about the one, the only, Styles P. Now, we're going to go over to the book right here. We're going to talk about a couple of my favorite albums from Styles P and just tell a couple stories about some shit with Styles P that I went through because, like I said, this is my favorite member of the Lox. Out of all three of them niggas, Jadakiss, Styles P, and Sheek Louch, Styles P has always been my fucking favorite, and I'm going to tell you goddamn why. Now, I was always aware of Styles P and what he did with the Lox and the stuff he did on Jadakiss's album and whatnot, but I really didn't become a super fan of him until he dropped his debut album, and I heard that shit. And that album is none other than this one right here. Now, y'all hold up a second. Now, this right here is a burned copy of this album because I never really technically owned the original copy. I had it, but it was somebody else's, and they wanted the shit back, and I wasn't willing to let that shit go, and then we got a little bit of a situation, but I burned the copy, gave him his shit back. He didn't even listen to the shit anyway. He didn't appreciate the shit, but it's all good. We're talking about the album that set it off for Styles P, or Styles at the time, and we're talking about A Gangster and a Gentleman. Burn copy. Now this shit dropped back in 2002 and it was led by the lead single, the weed anthem known as Good Times or High Times. And I didn't smoke, y'all, and I don't smoke, but yo, like that song made me feel like I should at least call a contact here and there because like that song was the weed smoker's anthem. But not only that, this album had a whole bunch of great fucking tracks on here. Gangster and the Gentleman, Soul Clap, Lick Shots, Y'all Don't Wanna Fuck, Styles, Nobody Believes Me, My Brother. I mean, it was some powerful fucking songs on this album. The production on here was fucking top notch. They had Alchemist up on this motherfucker. Swiss Beats was on this motherfucker. Ayatollah, DJ Clue, just to name a few. Didn't mean to rhyme that, but it was a dope, well put together debut album. I was so fucking impressed with this album. I love this fucking album. It was a hefty motherfucker too. It was like 24 songs. I think you can fit 80 minutes on a CD. This nigga Styles, they used like 78 minutes and like 50 something seconds. He like stretched that shit. Like, I'm using all this goddamn time. And every minute of this shit was fucking worth it, goddamn it. Now, let me tell you a little story time about this album, y'all. So like, yo, this is one of my favorite albums. And I remember I was bumping this shit. I was still in high school. And I remember I had a speech class. And one assignment that we had to do for speeches, we had to find a song or a poem and then recite it as a speech. And I actually picked the song My Brother as the fucking project, and I went and performed it off the top. Now here's the thing about it, I kind of cheated y'all because I already knew the song front to back, so I didn't even have to really like memorize or like set up for this album. I just got up, went over there, and I recited the lyrics word for word for this fucking song because it's such a powerful and dope fucking song. And I just like really, I had everybody like near tears and shit. Everybody like, oh, this is powerful shit, Granddad. Well, they ain't call me Granddad, they call me Chris. Doesn't matter. I got that motherfucking crowd with this dope ass song, and I got an A on that goddamn shit. And I was allowed to say nigga in class 3 times, and I didn't get in trouble once for it because it was a part of the project. So ha ha. Beat the system, goddammit. But this is a dope-ass fucking album. If you've never heard of A Gangster and a Gentleman, it's Styles P's debut, and it's a crazy fucking album. I mean, he had a whole bunch of features on here, too. I almost forgot about the features. He had the M.O.P., the Lox on here, of course. Lil Mo, Eve, Swiss Beats, Pharoah Monch. I mean, it wasn't a lot of motherfuckers on here that was dope, and they all came through and brought some quality fucking verses and work. And this was just a well-put-together album, like I said. One of my favorites, if not my favorite Styles P album, and it was the shit. This made me a legitimate Styles P fan. This made me like, yo, Styles P is my favorite member of the Lox, hands down. You can't tell me shit. This motherfucking album was crazy. The next album we're gonna talk about, y'all, is an album that is not burned. It's the official shit, and it's an album that I was waiting for so goddamn long. It was his follow-up album. It was an album that was supposed to drop, and Interscope was on that bullshit, and they wasn't dropping this album. They kept pushing this shit back, and I was so fucking mad because nobody apparently cared about this nigga Styles P except for me, but they finally dropped this shit. Like, I don't fucking know, 4 years goddamn later, but goddamn it, better late than never, and we are talking about the follow-up album entitled Time Is Money. Now, this shit dropped in 2006, and this shit right here is like one of the dopest and most slept on Styles P albums, I have to say, is because for one, when it was supposed to come out, Interscope, for some reason, did not want to drop the goddamn album, and it's probably because of the lead single, I'm Black, which is one of the most powerful songs I've ever heard in my goddamn life. If you have not heard that song, listen to that shit, especially if you black, because you will really relate to that song. But I think it's because, one, that song was just so fucking, like, powerful, yet it had a lot of controversial elements to it. Interscope really couldn't push that song to media and really kind of promote it, so it really kind of hindered the release of the album. And then from that, it just kind of sort of lost a lot of momentum, and then motherfuckers wasn't really checking for the album because it just got shelved. And then literally 4 years later, I was waiting for the whole goddamn time. I was like, I'm getting this fucking album, Interscope, y'all. I will wait. Fuck, I need this shit in my life. And they finally dropped the album very silently and damn near like out of nowhere, but they ain't get by me, goddamn it. I copped this shit as soon as I saw it was out, and goddamn it, this is a dope ass fucking album. It's only 12 songs long. It's like half the size of Gangster and the Gentleman, but it's like a lot of fucking dope shit on here. You got songs like Testify and How We Live and Favorite Drug and Can You Believe It and of course I'm Black, and just there's so many fucking dope songs on here. It was a real under the radar album. I think it was an album that they just dropped so Styles can get the fuck off Interscope and they can just part with the fucking deal, which was good for both of them because there wasn't shit happening over there. But hey, they still gave us a really quality album. I just wish it would have got a lot more attention. Production on here was crazy. I mean, they even had a better, more like top-notch production list on here than the previous album. I mean, of course, Alchemist and Swiss Beats were on here. High Tech, Havoc, Neo the Matrix, Vinny Idol, Lil Jon, Scott Storch. I mean, shit, like, he had some heavy hitters on this goddamn project. And as far as the feature list on here, it was a pretty hefty feature list for 12 songs, but they all came through and did their thing. There was Reflection Eternal on here. Of course, The Lox and D-Block was up on here. Marsha Ambrosius was on here. Swiss Beats. Fuck, who else? Akon was on this motherfucker, Flip Side. I mean, a lot of dope fucking artists came through and did their damn thing on this album, and it's just a fucking quality project that nobody really knows about. But hey, it's out there, so definitely check out Time Is Money. If you got the time and the fucking money, you gotta have both, and this shit will be worth both. So definitely check that shit out. It's fucking dope. But that's gonna do it for today's CD case studies, y'all. But I just wanna tell y'all about some of my favorite projects from Styles P, The Ghost, The Phantom, whatever he wants to be called. And after all that shit, I mean, he dropped a whole bunch. It's like after he left Interscope, he just started filing out fucking albums. I mean, a lot of dope other albums he dropped. Super Gangsta, Extraordinary Gentleman, Phantom, Float, a Wise Guy and a Wise Guy. Like literally, he just comes up with new personas every goddamn week and says, I'm gonna just make an album out of that shit and it's gonna be fucking dope. But Styles P is a legend in this game. He's got over 20 years in here, still making quality work. And I mean, he's a vegan now too, so he's doing the healthy eating shit. He's doing it all. Like this motherfucker's dope. So if you've not heard of anything from Styles P, definitely check him out because he's got a lot of quality work. But definitely check out the projects I told you about. You definitely gotta check out his debut album, one of his best projects, if not his best project. Production-wise, lyrically, everything on there is on point. And Styles is just a dope motherfucker. And I hope he continues to put out work consistently like he's doing now because like, yo, we need some Styles P here and there because the motherfucker's dope as hell. Previous video is on the side some fucking where. You know how I do as well as my single. Check that out, show us some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen, button below, CD case studies twice a week as well as Wooly reviews. Check that shit out. And the gaming channel. And if you're into anything and want your shit spotlighted, info is below. And I ain't got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, Granddad, Styles P, the CD case study, motherfucker's dope. My favorite member of the Lox, and I mean shit, like yo, Styles, if you dropping another album, just don't come up with another name, nigga. You got like 17, nigga, that's enough. Chill out. I'm out of here.